Good morning. There we go. Good morning to you all, and welcome. As you can see, my name's Dez Richards, the Cornishmedium. I can see there's one or two of you now joining us, which is brilliant. At 10:30 UK time, and I just sent the link to Australia because it's just gone 7 p.m. in Australia. So we should have Derek White Sky Cloud joining us later. So hopefully, if you followed obviously then the links to the YouTube channel, you can see the chat, and hopefully good morning Wendy, or good evening as they say. So hopefully we'll be able to get your obviously comments up so we can all see them. So fingers crossed. So I did get your message earlier, Wendy. So do not worry. We will be talking about. excuse me. We will be hopefully talking about that later while everybody gets on, because it is that case of what are we doing here? And as you know, if IOs dry up, I've got a couple of snippets of audio from our obviously book that we're reading, and obviously bits that I would like to share with you, because obviously the more I read and the more I can share, that's the part of it, to make you all, I won't say once again better aware, but just more aware of yourself, and your abilities of a spiritual being. So what I'm doing now is, obviously you can see I'm just scanning the internet a minute just to get my pages up, and then if you obviously can't get through, I should be able to pick you up on the Cornishmedium page. So this is what we're just trying to do a minute while we're all getting together. But once again, if anybody wants a reading and have a loved one up in the world of spirit that you think that would like to talk to you, I will be able to see once again if we can get hold of them and see what messages they have to share. But as you know, this is my type of time where I can get together with Sue and Derek, but unfortunately Sue's travelling around again, so unfortunately she won't be able to join us, but do not worry. You'll have myself and Derek this morning, because obviously I did have, with what we've been listening to and what we've been working on is spirit groups, and spirit pods, learning about obviously what we do on the other side of life. And this is the whole part of this show, is to tell you all about the spirits and souls that you investigate, being part of paranormal groups, just giving you an understanding of what they go through, or what we all go through when we get to the other side. And you can either believe it or not. Nobody will really understand it or believe it until we get there. And then we'll go, well, Des is either right or Des is talking out his arse. But that's what we love about this type of work. It is, isn't it? Nobody is, hand on heart, nobody truly knows, obviously, until we go over ourselves. But if I, on this side of life, can give you a little bit of understanding, so when we do go over, hopefully our souls will obviously understand where they need to go. And you'll be able to do it, because a quick tip as well, once again, you learn that each of us has a different colour soul, depending on obviously the age of our soul. And if you followed me, the Cornishmedium, loads, I won't say loads, but a couple of times I've put up my guide, who's a purple orb, and obviously just like the rainbow, just like the chakras, so it's quite funny because it all links up. Your chakra colours the same as the rainbow colours, etc. And it's the same as your soul colour as well, where obviously the purple is the oldest souls, and obviously the yellow and lighter colours obviously are the newer souls, which I find is helpful. And if you've ever seen mine, my guide and my orb, he's brilliant purple and white. So what we're doing is freaking out a minute because we can obviously, I can see your chat, but we can't get up there. That's totally fine. So guys and girls, so anybody wants a reading is cool. So hey, is that Derek Whitesky joining us? We shall see in a minute if he does. But yeah, Wendy, hopefully you don't mind, but obviously you sent me that message this week, and I read it and I thought, ideal way to start the show. So the people that are joining us, obviously, if you want a card or whatever, just put your hand up in the comments, so obviously we can get the ball rolling there. Cool. But obviously Wendy sent me a question, or not a question, an observation in her life, and she said, I don't feel, actually I'm going to help, there we go, I don't know, it was a case of, I feel out of place lately, I feel deeply, and I just feel that I do not belong here. Is this just me? And the funny thing, no, it's just not you. And I did have to smile because at the end of the day, all of us don't belong here. Obviously, we belong to the universe, and to other dimensions and other worlds. And this is just one of those type of planes, or one of those planets that we visit, for a very short time. And when you start to get that type of feeling, and hopefully if the other people that are watching and listening may be going through the same type of stages, but you're okay. There's not a problem with you being here on this side of life. But my dear friends upstairs are just saying, because of obviously who you're listening to, and who you're following, because I know that you follow Derek and stuff as well, which is brilliant. Try to support us all if you possibly can. And it's just that now that getting that understanding with your spirit people, and with who you're being, who you're listening to, and you do get to that stage of, up until now, you've understood that life is just life. Life is, you live, you die, you work, you cry, and that's the be all and end of it all. But lately, obviously, your awareness, your understanding, your mindset is thinking differently now. And it's that balance of understanding that, yes, we're not supposed to be here. Well, we are supposed to be here, of course, but we're only here for that short time. And having that understanding that, yes, this may not be your place of residence within the universe. It's just a place that we come and go. and I understand that to me it happened when I was 20 odd, when you start learning and you start because obviously everybody knows my past of being a preacher's son, and growing up with the church or spirituality or spirit, being every meal time, we used to pray, etc. So I had the understanding installed at me from birth. So this is why to me it is as it is. It's an everyday thing. And the more you ingrain and work with your guides and work with spirit, the easier life should be. But I only use the word should because, once again, where we make our own decisions while we're here, and it's up to our soul to tell our mind what we're supposed to be doing. But obviously our mind sometimes overrules the soul. And I was learning or hearing the doctor this morning from obviously the audio book, Destiny of Souls, talking about missed opportunities. And it is that thing about how in this life we do miss opportunities, and that's simply because our mind gets in the way of our soul. And these opportunities will arise, and our mind will obviously work on our experiences, and through past experiences and past lives as well, that will alter the decision that we make. Because for instance, not saying that it's true or not, but for instance, if you got obviously killed for being a witch, or if you got stoned, say, for being a preacher, obviously in lives after that, if that ever arises again, obviously you're going to be a bit in two minds about it, because you're like, well, the last time I was a preacher, the last time I was like this, I got shot, I got stoned, I got burnt at the stake. In this life you're going to be in two minds again. You're going to be, bloody hell, mate, the last time I did this I got screwed right over. So that's where your mind comes into it, and it's up for us, our soul then, to go, guys, mate, we've done this so many times, this is your life, this is what you chose, let's get on and do it. And then our mind will go, yeah, mate, but then I got killed the last time I did that, mate, that's not going to happen again. So you have this mind and body battle, and that's why the last week while we was talking about how much energy or soul energy you actually bring down into this life, into this body, and obviously if you didn't bring enough soul energy down, then most of the time your mind will overpower your soul body, and then you'll go back and go, I should have had more soul energy to override my mind. I know it's a bit deep and meaningful and blows your mind on a Sunday morning or a Sunday evening, but that's where we would go with that one. Good morning, Mary. No. Oh no, it's Ian. Sorry, Ian. Sorry, under Mary's thing. Do you think it means maybe it's our time to move on? Our time to, yes, Wendy. I understand and I am with you, and this is what frustrates us as a spirit person, is that obviously spiritually this planet, this the human race, this generation of people that I'm in, should be involved. It should, yes, we should have moved on with greater understanding. and that's what was around, in the Egyptian times and in the beginning of time. We had greater understanding, greater links to the world that we just come from. Because I babysat my 1.5-year-old grandkid the other day. It's really funny because she always goes for a nap, like all young souls do. And it was brilliant because as soon as she came back, she woke up. Oh, hello. And I was like, okay. Did you enjoy your trip to the spirit world? Then I was linking in and saying, like, who did you see? Who did you meet up with? Did you meet up with Nan and Gran? And what did they tell you? And obviously this child was just looking at me like, obviously not being able to verbally speak. But, being psychic, you can link in with them and you can understand what they're trying to tell you. And this is why, in my understanding, babies are so important, because obviously they are that link. They are that link, obviously, between this world and the last. And obviously the more time that they spend here, the more obviously they forget, or we forget, about where we come from. And then, as I said the other week, it's up to us then to realise, to remember that, about where we come from and why we're here. So yes, I do get frustrated when to me, we should all be moved on. But then I was told, or I wasn't told, but I read the book anyway. Long story short, that I'm into telepathic stuff. And it was the same Destiny of Souls book, but they're saying that on this side of life is impossible, because that's what we do in different universes. So if anybody has these weird things like telepathic, or we should be able to travel, become invisible and basically vibrate that high that we can just travel anywhere. If you have those weird thoughts, they're not weird thoughts, it's just that you've been doing them in different universes, or on different planets. So once again, I don't want to blow your mind about that, but that's what happens. Is we remember these things, especially when we go and sleep, because that's when we go and visit these places. I'm just looking around because the dog is now itching and going crazy. There we go. So once again, thank you for joining me this morning. I know that some other people are joining us there now, which is brilliant. And once again, if you are on YouTube, you can use the chat, and I can see that. Good morning, and once again, if anybody does want to link up, just give us a shout, and we will try our best to do so, because this is what we're here to do. Obviously, is talk about spirit, and once again, prove everlasting love as well. Because obviously, that on our side of life is important to know that our loved ones, and our family are okay. And I said, well, wait, because I know that there is somebody here in the world of spirit that wants it. I know. So I don't know if anybody's got. Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, because there's a February link that's coming up. Oh, there we go. I just think there. But there's a February link. But there's a son in the world of spirit. There's a son that wants to talk to. Someone that wants to talk to his mother in a minute. Son to talk to his mother. But as I said, there's a February link with this, like February the 16th maybe. But there's the 16th coming in. But there's a February the 16th is very important to somebody that is watching or that is listening. And I know that the feed is about three minutes behind. So once again, I just let that feed through. And the reason, obviously, if you're new to me, and the reason I've gone over to YouTube for a couple of weeks is obviously I've still been banned by Facebook by doing these lives, because they don't think they're Anyway, I've been done for child porn. Yeah, I put out an image 3 years ago, and they reckon it's But we talked about that last week. But hopefully, fingers crossed, next week we will be going back through Facebook, and then I'll be able to stream it a lot easier. But to keep myself up and to keep you obviously interested in soul work and soul groups and and those type of deep and meaningful questions, that's why we're here, and it's cool. But once again, if anybody does, but yes, but as I said, it is the 16th of a month, and there's a February link as well. But as I said, it takes a couple of minutes for it, I know, to get through to you. Not a problem. Because we have obviously talked about different soul groups and like different past lives. And once again, these are the topics that we'd like to be able to talk about in this type of format. Because obviously past lives, everybody likes past lives, and it's Dez, talk about, explain past lives, explain yes, because once again this morning I was listening about divine consciousness, super consciousness, and where obviously our records, or how our soul remembers these things, and in which part of the consciousness that these things are remembered, because our personality, our mannerisms, etc., that goes from soul to soul, because obviously that is part of your soul DNA, is your personality, and obviously the way that we learn things and the way that we are, what makes us. And we decide that at the beginning. I won't say we decide that at the beginning of time, because what I understand in the world of spirit is that how do we say this is, because we all have jobs and stuff, and basically the spirit world's a bit of a factory of souls as well, because obviously when souls go, souls are being made, and obviously they start vibrating, they're like the baby souls, and then they do a couple of lives and get, like we all do, get greater experience, become a different colour, and eventually, become purple. And then once we become a purple soul, then we don't really have to come back down here again. Then we become the guides, we become the helpers, and then we spend most of the time up there. Then we become teachers. Then we can teach young souls, about, well, I haven't got a clue what you would teach a young soul. Probably about how to go, how to visit planet Earth, how to visit other universes, etc. But even then, when it gets to that side of things, I'm like, because sometimes it's good to know some things, but then sometimes if you know too much, it just it just blows your mind, and then you don't really understand it. If you can understand what we're talking about, sometimes there's, as they keep saying, sometimes there's just no words, no English words that describes the things that they feel or see up in the world of spirit. But it's my job here is to tell you that your family, your friends are okay. They are still connected, and they are, they still share that love from the other side. So if anybody has lost, and we've all lost people, and once again, this is my big thing about making sure that you all know that they are okay, and by doing that, by linking up, giving you information that I don't know about you or about your family, and obviously only one or two people that would know that would be the person that's telling me, and obviously you guys here that are part of the family. and you'll be able to understand it. So when the information overload, and it is, but I know that you like it, Wendy. It's cool, because as I said, to me, and we won't go politics, but this obviously we're getting a new Prime Minister here in the UK. America will probably get a new president at some point, which will, and I know that Canada, they're also looking to change their Prime Minister. So it's just like this year, 2024, is going to be quite an interesting one. Because obviously when he was talking about, are we supposed to be here and stuff, and it's like 2024 is once again going to be a changing time around the world, and then we being members of the public just have to sit back and see what happens and see how it plays out. Okay, but I am being told that, and it says in the Bible as well, but about false prophets, and you'll hear all about it all over the or it will all be over the news about fake news, about fake, all that bollocks, and it's us to then to sit back and take what we want, because sometimes it's fake, because it's just the way that it's said. It's shocking some of the things that some people in power say, because that they're just lying to you. But that's but we know that people in power lie, because that's how they get there. That's how they get into politics. That's how they get into power, because obviously they, unfortunately, their greed and their envy and all their type of negative emotions overpower their loving emotions, and their caring, empathy emotions, but that's unfortunately the way that the world is at the moment. And it's not until the people at the top start doing it with empathy and with care and love, nothing much is going to change. Do I see it in my lifetime? Perhaps not. Hopefully in my granddaughter's lifetime, yes. Because people in power have tried, but unfortunately at the end of the day, greed overpowers, and that's one of my big things on this side of life, is those type of, if you can control those emotions as a human, which is like envy, jealousy, greed, all of those, those negative type of emotions that fulfill your void, and that's all it's doing, is fulfilling a void, of stuff that, of that void, like when you're saying, are we supposed to be here? But they instead of looking for answers, looking for inspiration, upliftment, they just do the power surge. But as I said, we know those type of people, and they'll be around for the rest of time. But hopefully in our time we can learn to control them and become a better person from doing that. Okay, I can't take your order. Okay, Wendy. No, that's not a problem. Because obviously whoever is listening, as I said, there's a 16th of Feb that's coming up, or 16th of a month in a Feb, but there's a son, there's a son that wants to talk to his mum, I believe he took his own life, because the weird thing is before obviously I sat down, I have, because I didn't know who would be joining me this evening, if I'd just be on my own, blabbing like I do, but thankfully you understand my bizarreness, and that's why you join me, because I'm crazy. But obviously I have got a little snippet of of audio that if I need to, I can fall back on, and that's about souls that have taken their own life, and what happens, or how they're perceived, how they're helped in the world of spirit. So, as I said, I haven't linked with this gentleman just yet because he's just here. But I got a feeling, obviously, it is to do with that, because obviously what we're going to talk about. So, Wendy. Okay, sweetheart. So once again, we'll just have to, look at Wendy's comments to see if she can understand any of this. Okay, and if not, do not worry, because it'll make, because somebody will understand it. Thank you. I know, sweetheart. Gavin. There's a Vinny or Gavin. Vinny. Gavin. Okay. Okay, Wendy. This is going to be right. Brilliant. All right. Once again, if it's not for Wendy, obviously the other people that are watching and listening, please put your hand up as well, because I'm only smiling because I don't know how we're going to get away with this one. But there's a Vin. Okay, so it's either a Vin or Gavin, but there's a Vin, okay? There's a VIN name that's coming through, okay? And I don't know if that's linked with you, Wendy, or anybody else that is watching. And that's why I laughed, because it's either a Vin or a Gavin, but there's a Vin, and Vin, a VIN. And I don't know, I should know, Wendy, it's not for me, but do not worry about it, Wendy, a minute, because to me that's a surname, Vin. Weird. I don't know normally do surnames, or I don't know, but there's a Vin, sorry, I've got to go on, and it'll be with me for the rest of the day if nobody takes it, but to me, there's a Vin that's attached to this person, okay? I know that there's a lady in the world of spirit that's talking about him, so to me, like the Gavin, or that's, see, that's somebody here. Okay, and with it, there's an April link that's coming up. There's the 13th of April I want to talk about. But do not worry about that, Wendy, because I know that you follow. So I've got the cards in my hand anyway. Okay. Okay. Okay, Wendy. Okay, I understand now. Thank you. Bang. Right, Wendy. Right. I keep bringing out the inner child for you, but quickly before we do this, they just reminded me now that I have LinkedIn, because obviously we're doing this and we're stopping the spiel for a bit. Is that the reason as well that you're not feeling yourself at the minute is because there's a changing, I say, a changing of the guard, okay? So your guides are changing, okay? So that's why you're getting this weird disconnection at the moment. So yes, your guides are changing because, as we said earlier, your understanding and the way that you're looking at things are changing, okay? And this is what happens, believe it or not. Once again, you don't have to, but I'm going to tell you anyway, because I can. It's Sunday morning, Sunday evening, it's cool. Is that if you don't know, we'll quick, is that basically we're here, our dear friends, our friends in the world of spirit, they're not part, this is the bizarre thing, they're not, some are members of the soul group, but a lot of your guides, I believe, aren't, obviously, because they're the teachers and stuff. Long story short, up in the world of spirit, it's their job or to look after you, okay? So they do, obviously they get brownie points if they guide you in the correct way. And when I say the correct way, if they know your soul contract, okay, and then they've got to direct you to completion, okay, so it's their job to direct you to complete your soul contract, okay, then they get points for it, they get higher vibrations, obviously, and they, as I've said before, they become different colours, and it helps them, okay, so that's what they're doing on the other side, okay, and then when we're on this side, change our thought pattern, change our work, change, change, they change with you. Alright, yes, I will tell you, obviously you do have a lifetime guide that stays with you for the whole of your life, and he's the one, or she is the one with the soul contract, but then obviously other guides will come in and help you, and then go again, okay, because I've got a guide for my clairvoyance, and then when I do my Reiki, I get a healing guide that comes in, etc. I mean, I've got when I go out walking, it's like if I got a Roman thing behind me, a Roman legionnaires, when I walk down the street. So if you told me that, that's what I would say, is your guide is changing, and your guide is changing, because you will be working with your hands a lot more. If you're working with your hands, and I know healing and stuff like that, but you will be working with your hands more than your mouth, if that makes sense. And it's a gentler energy. So I don't know if I believe it's changing. I would say it's changing from a male energy to a female energy. So you may feel like a bit lighter, a bit happier. Shall I say? I don't know why that came into it, but I just feel that you'll be more uplifted. You'll be more energized. I mean, it's just one of those. I send a thought up, and they're just showing me people cheering and a bright light. Not saying that you're going over in any way, shape or form, because that's what most people would say. I see a bright light, you're going over, but no. I see it as a celebration, and I see it as like a changing of the guard. Okay, but as I said, to me, it's going to be more of a gentle female energy, because you need more coaxing, and I do feel that for this next stage, I don't think a male energy or male guide would help you, if you can understand. Not that you don't listen to men, but I do feel I am being told that you don't listen to men. So it was pointless sending another male guide down, because you wouldn't listen to them. So to me, it's a female guide that's coming through to help you. And as I said, if if you're not working with your hands, and when I say that, because I don't know if it's okay, right, I don't know if it's acupuncture that I know that you're not interested in any shape or form, but I am putting pins into people, so to me it's either acupuncturist, or you're going to be one of those voodoo witches that puts pins in people. I hope not. Okay, I hope not. That's just my joke on a Sunday morning, because I see you putting pins in people. All right. So I did have to smile, because obviously I don't see you with a thing, but I just had to add that in, because obviously voodoo dolls is more of a subject for the for the Spirit Crew team, and I do have to think, obviously they've got up to their 3,000 followers now, which is brilliant. Up and up with that, because obviously that's going to be changing, and they're doing extremely well getting the physical evidence, and this is what we try to do on a Sunday morning, is then talk about that what's behind the evidence. All right. But Wendy, thank you. Right, Wendy, I just get obviously the inner child, the parenting and children card, and the detox card as well. Obviously detox. I love that word. It was around in the 90s. Everybody was crazy about detoxing, i.e. cutting sugar out your diet, cutting tobacco, cutting anything that's bad for you out, caffeine. If you feel that you need to do that, brilliant. Okay. Yeah, as you can tell by him, as in me being a healer as well, I got to put my hands up, and I said, I don't detox. Obviously, different parts and different cultures of the world do. Obviously, they fast, and they detox. And they own. I'm just trying to think of which religion or which belief structure this is in. But yeah, I know that people do fast for religious beliefs, and they do feel that it helps them. So once again, I'm not taking it away because it helps people. And if you think it'll help you, Wendy, and once again, if you are right, this is just me, and I know that you're not, okay, but I know that we go back a bit, so I can say it. If you was like drinking, 4 or 5 cans of beer a night, then yeah, it would help you to, to cut back and to detox. Okay, so if that is you, Wendy, then brilliant. If not, I know it's not you really. But yeah, if you've got something, happening into. Actually, Wendy, sorry, because the next one is stand your ground. No. Okay. Yes, I'm going to put this on its head, and you will know, you'll be able to understand this more, Wendy. Detox. Yeah, I was talking about detoxing your body, detox your life. Sorry, as in your friends, because once again you've got to stand your ground. So I know that there's somebody you've got to get rid of within your life in a lovely way. They're not doing you any good. And I'm going back to the 13th of April as well with you, Wendy. I know that you can I totally understand that one. Yeah. It took me a while, but it's Sunday morning. But I'm ringing the 13th of April. April, darling. April's a big month for you. April. Okay, I know April. And I know that there is, because there's a lady in the world of spirit, and I want to say thank you. I know she's on your mum's side of the family, okay, and I don't know if it is your mum. No, it's not your mum, thank you. This lady that's coming through, thank you. Very well spoken, thank you. And I mean, she's talking about the family of 4, so I don't know if you're one of 4 or your mum was, okay, but you know the way that I work. There's a 4 link that's coming up with this lady, and that normally tells me what side of the family that she's on. But to me, she's on your mum's side, love. And it's just like she's very down to earth. Thank you, sweetheart. And I don't know what it is about her right side, okay. But I'm just looking at my right hand here at the minute, so to me, I don't know if it's arthritis played. Obviously, I've got 4 children, a cool Wendy, so I know that she's looking after them. But to me, it's arthritis and very, very arthritic pains. Okay, with this lady, I know that. I know. I'm writing down 80, so I know that she would have, as I would say, reached a ripe old age. Okay, and when I'm linking in with them more, there's an Annie that's attached, and as I said, do not worry if it's not her, because I don't think it is her. And that's why I said the word attached, because of me, that there's an Annie attached as well. Okay, an Anne. Okay, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. And if it is you, and obviously the other people that are watching and listening, who got blown over the other day. And when I say that, it's like the old... somebody got caught by a gust of wind the other day. And I assume it's you, Wendy, if we are linking in with you. But somebody nearly got blown over. It was a bit... but it was to do with a gust of wind. Because we remember the old days when we were kids, we used to put like our coats up and become a wind thing. But somebody, anyway, Wendy, if you've got the 4 kids, you'll understand this story, so I don't know if it's recent. It's like somebody got blown over by the wind. Someone like went around the corner and bloody got pretty surprised by the actual wind. I don't think that's me. Yes, Wendy. Because who's the one with curly hair in your... It's like shoulder length, brown curly hair, glasses. Is that the person that I'm talking to, or is that a picture of you? I'm not too sure, Wendy, because we've never seen each other. But it's like those. It's like an 80s brown hair with curls, and those like square glasses that they used to have. That's the image. That's the picture that's being drawn to me of this lady that's coming through. Okay, thank you. See, I don't think that's me. And obviously, Mama. Yeah, my mum wouldn't fit that description. Okay, I know. I know. Sorry. Yeah, this is why obviously when we get people on, we go but every week. But I will have to do this. Obviously, if people want readings, we'll have to come on. Okay, because I know Wendy can understand this, but trying to explain obviously this through text is really difficult, because I said that, darling, I know your mum is trying to come through, but it's the elderly lady with her. Okay, and as I said, the description that I had was of somebody on this side of life. Okay, and as I said, to me it was a funny story about somebody nearly got blown in front of a car or in front of a truck, but to me it's a family story. Like, oh bloody Auntie Vera nearly got blown in the street the other day. That's the type. That's where I want to go with this. Okay. Thank you. And then if it is her that's coming through now, okay, I do want to talk about cancer. Okay, if this lady that is coming in for you, there's a cancer, and to me, I'm going up to my breasts and nowhere else. I know that this lady would have started, and I say started with breast cancer, because as we know, cancer gets everywhere, unfortunately. Thank you. But to me, this lady that's coming to me now would have started with the breast cancer. I know, Wendy. Thank you, sweet. Okay. Okay, I think I'm on that story. Cool. Because as well, I'm getting very like a metallic taste in my mouth. I know, which is lovely, sweet. Okay, thank you. Right, understand. Thank you, darlings. Right, Wendy. Then, if this person is with you, as I said to me, we're talking about the 2nd of January. No, January. No, that's already gone. June. Thank you. I don't know. I should know, but they're talking about obviously a birthday, and if it's the 2nd of June, it's going to be this week. I want to talk about a birthday that's this week. So we're talking about Sunday. So it's like this Friday. So it's not going to be something like the 7th or 8th. Looking at my Google clock, but there's a link, and I'm looking at the comments at the moment, but I know that I'm 3 minutes behind. But there's a link to a birthday, but to me it's this week, it's this Friday. So once again, if anybody else can understand that, please comment, because there's a birthday this Friday. Okay, thank you. So that's 2 of you. Okay, thank you. And as I said, I don't know. Oh, only one. Oh, the 18th and not the 8th. Okay, cool. No, I will take that, because I said the 8th. So it's Sunday morning, Sunday evening. It's cool. But that was the important thing. Is the birthday that's coming up, and is that one coming to Earth? Okay, come one. Okay, around you, Wendy, because I know that it's not you. So please don't go. It's not me, because I know. But sorry. But I've got a lady in spirit. I believe if it is your mum or not. But she's talking about a child. She's talking about a young soul that's coming to Earth. So don't be surprised if somebody around you tells you that they're pregnant or expecting, because that's where we're going with this one. But she just wants a heads up by saying that you're going to know first. Okay, but to me, it's coming onto this side of life and not going the other side. All right, so look out around you, because there is going to be somebody that's coming up to you, telling them their good news. To me, it's going to be a close friend. It's going to be close. And then everybody's going, yeah, but you should know, is it going to be a family member? But I don't think it's family. I just think it's a colleague or a friend. Oh dear. But once again, it's just this lovely soul in the world spirit just wants that bit of proof as well, because you've heard it from her first. Okay, and as we're talking to you and as we're talking to them, I'm still flicking my cards. I'm saying they're giving you a romantic partner, and I know that you're going, Dez, that's the last thing I need. All right. So once again, if it is the last thing you need, a romantic partner, just once again, they're just going to send you somebody, to brighten. Okay, thank you. They're not going to send you somebody to brighten up your dream, your life, Wendy, because dreams do come true. So I am going to actually put that back with the romantic partner, and whatever thoughts your last thing I need, thanks, Des. Well, it is, hopefully, it is a friend. It's not nothing to, it's nothing. But yeah, so whatever you're sending up at the minute is being answered, because it is, dreams do come true. I mean, as I keep harping on, we have to make those dreams come true, but they will put the opportunities into your more than capable hands, Wendy, to make your dreams come true, which is brilliant. So hopefully YouTube comments is caught up, okay, because I'm probably just talking 10 minutes later. But I only smile because hopefully this time next week we'll be back on Facebook, and I would have served my time by being, a weird perv. But fingers crossed. Because as I do smile because I know that there is a lag. Thank you. Brilliant. As I said, cool. With this, obviously, with the dreams coming true, Wendy, raise your standards as well. But we all have to do that. Sometimes, but that's the thing about life, is we always go for things that we know and we're comfortable. And this would go right back to obviously taking our when we have our soul contract, and taking our opportunities to make those soul contracts complete. A lot of the things we have to do are out of our comfort zone, because that's a part of living here at this time. And that's being put out of your comfort zone, because that's the only way that you live and learn. And when we're not doing that, really, are we? Because we're so used to the lives that we have, and we're so I won't say happy with them, but most of us are okay with them, because we're in that life. So we're like, yeah, I chose it, suck it up. But it doesn't have to be that way. Never ever. You can change it at any time. And then if people don't change around you, as I said before, that's one of the hardest things with relationships and spirituality, or any religion, or I won't even bring in religion in it, but any different viewpoint, different idea. But please go with that one. No, yes, I'm trying to make very different choices, and that's what we need. We need to do. If it didn't work the first time, then attack it with the theory about So I'm just reading the comment, but yeah, it is one of those things where we do have to make different choices if they don't work the first time, because obviously our soul guide, our helpers, will keep putting the same problem in front of us until we do it. And the same with my life as well. I mean, I do it and I'm the worst. Things happen. I've been here before, and they're like, I know you have, Des, but the first time you didn't bloody sort it out. Now we're back again, and then now we've got to sort it out again. And that's what they do. They just put these things straight in, because obviously at the end of the day, our soul contract is the most type of important thing on this side. So thank you for that, Wendy. I'll see you, and thank you for that. And I do have to. Okay. Believe it or not, but okay. Do you understand? Just before we do leave you, Wendy, not the show. But I've got to go on about the month of November again. Is that your mum's month or your month? Okay, because just before I just asked her to stand back, she's chucked in some more information. But to me, thank you for that. But to me, once again, it's November. If you can understand November, but it's either got a link. Yeah, okay, your mum passed in November. Okay, thank you. Right. Because they love it. As soon as I say I'm going to leave you, they won't. Okay, right, Wendy. Right, trust me. Is your mother here? I don't know why, but try. This is a very important time for you. Okay, I'm going like this. So the next 6 months, and I'll put my foot down on this one. So now until Christmas, okay, there's going to be 2 opportunities. Okay, 2 opportunities to better yourself. Okay, if you take the first one, by Christmas you'll be somebody totally different. If you miss the first one because you don't understand or you don't feel like it, okay, they will send you it again in 3 months' time. Okay. Okay, and as well, that's where the detox comes in, sweet. Okay. Right. Sorry, as you can tell, my mind changed to this because this was like, well, I was laughing and joking around like I like to with our dear friends in spirit. But no, it all goes back to the detox, Wendy. Please look after yourself, okay? And to me, it's the next 6 months, and there's two. Once again, I go on about the two. So once again, I don't know if it's 2 appointments you're going to have, but I am being told to stress about this. Okay, with the detox. Okay, so not that you're going to become totally unhealthy, but please, if you do have an ache or a pain, get it checked. Okay. Yes. Well, yeah. Once again, I'm not going to go on about this, but it's the detox, and I was laughing about, if you had if you was drinking 10 pints a night, try to cut down. I know that you don't drink that, okay, in any way, shape or form. I don't even think that you drink, but before I went, because I was going to end it in such a blasé way, your mum brushed back and she's like, no, tell her the next 6 months are important, okay? There's, as I said, to me, there's going to be 2 things. So it's either you're going to have an ache or a pain, and then learn how to get rid of it, okay, by getting into healing and stuff. But it's the next 6 months. Okay. But you will understand it in the few weeks to come. But you follow us anyway, Wendy, so we'll talk next week anyway, or in the week, it doesn't matter when. Okay, but it's the next 6 months. I've got to put my stamp on that one, or she has. Because once again, Wendy, I don't think she knew. Okay, she's talking about a condition that crept up on her. And it was like, I didn't know I had it there. So one minute I was normal, and the next I wasn't. So to me, she would have done the same. Had an ache or pain, and perhaps didn't tell anybody. That's it. I'm just going to put it out there. She ignored it and wouldn't go to the doctors. So if you can understand the urgency, not the urgency, but it's hard when you're just doing a channel to portray what the energy or the importance of what your mum's trying to say. Okay, but for her to do that, please don't let it. So any ache or pain, let's nip it in the bud. Okay, thank you. And I don't know if it's to do with your chest, because I don't know. I want to say, have you got rid of that cough yet? So I want to say, have you got rid of that cough? And while you're getting rid of that cough, she had the. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Alright, she had the cough. Alright, so she's telling me her cough is gone. Okay, so watch out. Do you have a cough? But on the good part, it's like, and as well, moving forward fearlessly. So whatever this 6 months is going to hold for you, you will just move on. You'll just move on through it. Okay, and when I say through it, you will get to the end, and you will get past the end. All right, I don't see it as an ending in any way, shape, or form. But I just think that this 6 months is going to open. I won't say open yourself up, because you're going to go, oh, I'm going to have an operation. But with the changing of the guides, which then perhaps makes me say that that's one of the reasons that they're drawing close, because there is a massive change, and I do think the change is going to come through, an experience that you're going to have, if I can put it in a nice way, which is brilliant. Well, I thank you once again for that, Wendy. Thank you, sweetheart. Can you get? Is she going now? But I did have to get that over before she went, because you know what your mum's like. She'll have a laugh, and then suddenly, whoa, this is important. You have to know this. Okay. Thanks again. Okay. Thank you. Right. So yeah. So you've got a new guide coming, and that's going to they're going to help you through this, which is brilliant. So as I said, it's a hooded man. I don't know. Once again, Wendy, or if anybody else that is watching can understand this, but I want to say the hooded man. When I say the hooded man, it always tells me about Robin Hood, and I know nobody has links with Robin Hood, but it's the hooded man. So I don't know if anybody's dressed up as Robin Hood or famously dressed up as Robin Hood, but there's a Robin Hood connection with somebody that is watching. Because all I want to talk about is the hooded man. So to me, it's like either somebody's got it like a cloak, like Robbie, and it's like I want to pull it off their face. So it's somebody with one of those massive type of Robin Hood cloaks, and it's like known for the hooded man. So I'm just going to throw that out there a minute. Because obviously we are coming up to 12 o'clock in a minute, which will be, I've got to go to work at 1:30 UK time, so this is the beginning of my day, and then we've got a 10-hour shift, no, an 8-hour shift, not a problem, which is cool, but it's the hooded man, dude, because I used to love that, obviously growing up, medieval, person, well, even before it was the Dark Ages, with is it King Henry the First, or no? It's bigger. Somebody will tell me in a minute. The hooded man, I love him. And as well, Wendy. But we all need laughter. But I don't see how we're going to get it here in the UK at the minute. But that's just me. The hooded man, I'm just trying to think, because it was Sean Connery's. There's a Robert, as well. I know Robert has nothing to do with the hooded man, but I had to write down the name Robert. The hooded man. Be honest with yourself. Sorry, I'm just flicking over these, and I love see the cards say. I just look down and go, be honest with yourself, and everybody's like, yeah, we could all be doing a lot more, being honest with ourselves than we are. That's it. See, a romantic partner. So what I'm going to, because it's that last couple of, I won't say the last couple of minutes at all. But what I will do while I'm here, because I'll just end up smiling anyway. Is give you about a 5-minute clip, because obviously this is what we tried to do earlier. Obviously it's Destiny of the Souls, okay, but what we're going to do is just a couple of minutes before the end of the show, but I just wanted to share this with you, because it's only, once again, 1 or 2 minutes long, okay, but but it's to do with like souls, obviously, that committed suicide. And once again, it's from the book Destiny of Souls. For copyright purposes, I'm just going to play it in the background, so you'll see my face. But yeah, just as I say, I'm not even 10 minutes out of your time, but just see what you think of this.
N. All right. Describe your pod for me. Subject. I see my pod as a large bubble, which is a school building, divided into 4 floors. Inside the bubbles there are many bright, colorful points of soul energy. Dr. N. And all this is transparent from the outside to you? Subject. Semi-transparent. Milky. Dr. N. Okay. Now go inside and describe how you see these 4 floors and what they mean to you. Subject. The 4 floors are transparent and look like glass. Each level is connected by a stairway with a compartment for study at one end. On each floor there are groups undergoing instruction. I enter on the first floor, where a beginning level group of 18 souls is listening to a visiting lecturer called Bion. I know her. She is very aware of the pitfalls of young people. She is strong but tender. Dr. N. Do you know all the teachers in this school? Subject. Oh, sure, I'm one of them. Just starting, of course. Please don't think I'm bragging. I'm just a student teacher. But I'm very proud. Dr. N. As well you should be, Rudolph. Tell me, does each floor have one primary cluster group? Subject hesitates. Well, the first 2 do. There are 12 working on the second level. The upper floors have souls from other groups working on their individual specialties. Dr. N. Rudolph, is this the same thing as an independent studies program? Subject. That would be accurate. Dr. N. All right. What happens next to you? Subject. Tahama tells me where I need to be, reminding me that I belong on the 3rd level, but to take as much time as I want. Then she leaves me. Dr. N. Why does she do that? Subject. Oh, you know. Our guides maintain a teacher-student relationship with us in this center. They try not to be real familiar with us in a social way because of their professional status. I don't mean for this to sound as though they act like some pompous professors on Earth. This is different. The master teachers, such as my other guide, Raylon, keep a little distance from the students when not engaged in teaching, to give them space and allow for individual expression among themselves. They feel it is important for the students' growth not to be hovering around them all the time. Dr. N. That's most interesting. Please continue, Rudolph. Subject. Well, Tahama says she will see me later. To be honest, I'm not completely tuned into this place yet. It's just the way I am when I come back. It always takes me a while to acclimatize, so I'm going to relax and enjoy the children on the ground floor. Dr. N. Children? You call these first-level souls children? Subject, laughing. Well now, I'm sounding a bit pompous myself. It's just how we describe the beginners, who can be rather childlike in their development. This group is really just starting. They acknowledge me because I have been active with them. I know the ones who are repeating the same mistakes because of a lack of self-discipline. They are not making much effort to move up in development. I don't stay too long because I don't want them to be distracted from Bion's lesson. Dr. N. What is the teacher's attitude about the slow ones? Subject. Frankly, the teachers of the first level do get tired of certain students who almost refuse to progress, so they leave them alone a lot. Dr. N. Are you saying the teachers stop pushing those students who are difficult? Subject. You have to understand that teachers have infinite patience because time is meaningless. They are content to wait until the student is disgusted with treading water and offers to work harder. Dr. N. I see. Please continue with your tour of the school. Subject. I am looking up through the glass ceiling to the second level. That's where I'm headed next. These souls have a fleecy gauze appearance from here. I don't really need a stairway, but it represents a means of passage in my mind. As I climb to the second floor, I see the adolescents. They are like super-active teenagers, full of restless energy, sponges absorbing a lot of information fast and trying to act on that knowledge. They are learning to get a grip on themselves, but many don't know yet how to give back to others in effective ways. Dr. N., as a teacher, would you say that these souls are self-absorbed? Subject laughs. That's normal, along with a constant need for outer stimulation. More seriously, I am not yet qualified to teach on this level. Enid is in charge here, a disciplinarian with a big heart. Right now they are on a break. I find them fun to be around because they all pump me for information about the manner in which I have learned to accomplish things on Earth. Soon it's time for me to go to the third level. Dr. N., what would happen if one of these students followed you up into the third level? Subject smiles. Once in a while, a curious one will wander into more advanced areas. It's similar to a third grader walking down the hall into a sixth grade class. The kid would be lost. They might get teased a little on Earth, but someone would quietly take them back to their own classroom. It's the same here. Dr. N., well, I guess you are ready to take me up to the third level. May I have your impressions of this place? Subject, brightly. This is my area, and we are like young adults. Many of us are training to be teachers. The mental challenges here are more constant. Now we are working on resourcefulness, not just reacting to situations. We are learning to protect and inform, to keep our eyes open, and to see the spirit of others through the light in their eyes on our earthly rotations. Dr. N., do you recognize people you know? Subject, oh, I see Elan. Husband in both past and current life, a primary soulmate. He appears to me as we were in our last life. Elan sparks up my tired energy with his love, like lighting a fire in a cold stove. I was a widow for a long time. Tearfully, we are sucked up into a pool of happiness together for a few moments. Dr. N., after a pause, anyone else? Subject, everybody. There is Esent, mother in current life, and Blay, a best girlfriend in her current life. Subject is suddenly distracted. I want to go up briefly to the fourth level to see my daughter Anna, also in current life. Dr. N., tell me what you can about the fourth level. Subject, there are only 3 souls there, and from below they appear as shapeless shadows of goldish and silver blue. There is such warmth and love with these souls growing into full adulthood. They are becoming very wise in helping souls really make use of their human bodies. I sense they feel more touched by a divine essence. They are in tune with their existence. When they come back from a physical life, they don't need adjusting as I do. Dr. N., where are the older adults, such as the senior guides, the elders, and others like them? Subject, they are not in this bubble, but we see them elsewhere. The Library of Life books. Many of my clients speak about being in research library settings soon after rejoining their soul groups. I have come to accept the idea that it is a standard learning imperative that we begin to study our past lives in depth right away. After I wrote about the place where our life records are stored in my first book, people asked if I was able to supply them with more details. The people who describe earthly structures in their spiritual home also include the library, and descriptions of this setting are quite consistent. On Earth, a library represents a systematic collection of books arranged by subjects and names which provide information. The titles of spiritual life books have my clients' names on them. This may seem odd, but if I were working with an intelligent aquatic being from planet X who had never been to Earth and whose place of study was an ocean tide pool, I'm sure that is what this entity would report seeing in the spirit world. I have reported on spiritual classrooms and smaller adjacent cubicles where primary groups interact, including even smaller isolated rooms where souls can be completely alone for quiet study. There is nothing small about the library. Everyone tells me the location of the life books is seen as a huge study hall in a rectangular structure, with books lined along walls and many souls studying at desks who do not seem to know each other.
So yes, that was obviously from the Destiny of Soul book, part 1 of part 2. Yeah, just quickly before we get, is obviously, hopefully you enjoyed that bit. It wasn't about what I wanted, but I'll find that for next week. But you know me. But no, it's just interesting because what that was about was obviously when a soul comes back, obviously your guide then will take you what they call to your bubble, where you've lived, and that's like where your soul group, and obviously there you heard the soul meeting the husband, then the family, and then wanting then to meet her daughter who was on the next level. And it's quite interesting because when you talk about levels, I mean, if you have a look, there's a lovely lady on the internet called Angie Kruger, works with a trance medium, Richard, and he, or they do events around the country in trance, etc. And he explained to me briefly about the world of spirit. And as we said earlier, there's different colours of orbs or different colours of spirit, depending on what level you're at. Okay, and I did like it because it talked about the kids, and like they're the young souls. Okay, and then obviously that soul managed to get up a couple of levels because she was learning how to become a teacher. So it was just interesting how they talk about different floors and different levels, and how when we vibrate at different levels, that's when we can obviously go up those floors. And once we vibrate at a level, we go up and we never come back down again. So that's the most important thing, and that's why we're here, is to become, learn how to vibrate lighter. So when we go back to the other side of life, that's when we go up from being, level 2 to level 3 to level 4. And that's why we're, that's part of the big picture, because then obviously we do that, and then we don't have to come back again on this side of life. So it is coming up to 12, or it's just gone now 12, so we are going to knock it on the head. So thank you for watching in, and all you other dear loved ones that sat through me this morning. And as I said, hopefully, fingers crossed, next week we will be able to go back via Facebook, because once again it's just so much easier to share and to stream from. So fingers crossed. Hopefully you just enjoyed my waffle. Hopefully it's made sense to some of you. Watch out for the next 6 months when it's going to be exciting in more ways than one. And I do feel that by Christmas, once again you'll have a different understanding about who you are, what you're going to be doing, and who you're going to be doing it with. Alright, but as I said, we've got an hour and then we're off to work here in the UK. If you're watching from Australia, enjoy the rest of the evening, and until next week, we shall love and leave you. But I've learnt now that obviously YouTube is about 30 seconds behind me, so I'll put the screen up until the stream goes. Anyway, bye for now.